What's up, guys? It is Devin. I am very excited about this video. I've been very excited about a lot of my videos recently, but this one for sure. This is a collection purchase, a large lot, however you want to frame it, that I purchased from a local collector. A little bit different than what I typically do. I'm mainly a sports guy. Typically basketball, football are kind of the main two. Sometimes I throw in baseball, hockey, and some other sports, wrestling, of some of the main athletes from those sports. This is a unique one. It is all Pokemon. The entire lot, everything that you see on the camera, I will give a brief overview of everything. You got all that stuff. You have all of that, and then you have all these slabs. So this is an entire Pokemon collection that I purchased. I'm going to run over just rough numbers from the entire lot. I think it's easier to do that. That way, I don't have to break down everything individually. This entire lot was valued just under $9,000. It was $8,723 was the total value. I ended up paying $6,943. So if you want to look at how that looks percentage wise, because people are always curious with stuff like this, $6,943 was my purchase price, $8,723 was total value, basically 79.6% if you want to round up. It was basically 80% across the board. Now it actually worked out pretty easily that way. Some of the stuff I paid a little bit higher on, some of the stuff I paid a little bit lower on, just depending on the value of the items, but it averaged out right around 80%. So I'll go over everything. I think I'm going to start off with individual cards first, and then we'll go over some of the sealed wax, which is definitely a lot of cool stuff that is in there, no doubt. This first stack here, I'm going to stick these ones to the side. These was actually items that I couldn't put an exact value on. They were all CGC graded Pokemon cards, and I didn't really feel like basing off of PSA sales to try and gauge value. I wanted exact sales of CGC, and there really wasn't anything to compare to for exact CGC sales in the last 6 months. So I'm actually taking this small lot under consignment. I'm going to take it with me to a couple shows, and I'll split the sales with him. It's definitely a lot of stuff on the cheaper side, though. Like, you got Red's Challenge. Definitely a lot of Japanese, too. 9 on the grade there. A Shining Star V of Ditto. 9.5. A Ditto VMAX. Also a 9.5. Japanese. You got the Seishion V Black Star promo as a 9. Zamazenta V as a 9. You got a Pikachu Holo, another Black Star promo as a 9. Bulbasaur from the McDonald's collection. This is the Confetti Holo as a CGC 9. And I think these are, yeah, they're all the same. So 5 of the Vivid Voltage Cracked Ice, which I believe they were from like a little Vivid Voltage theme deck, maybe it was. I don't know. I remember this being a promo on like a little deck, but maybe I'm wrong. Someone can correct me there. I just remember seeing them. Cracked Ice Holo, Vivid Voltage, Charizard. All of these are CGC 9. So I think there's 5 of these. But like, these were just like so drastically different in price. There was an auction that did $2. There were some buy it nows that did 10 and 15, one as high as 20. So definitely something that's all over the place. Was too tough for me to put an exact value on. So all of these I basically took under consignment, and we'll just let roll at some shows. I typically don't do consignment for buy it nows at shows. Typically my consignment is eBay auctions. This is a collector that I've known for a very long time. We went to high school together, and our parents worked with each other for 20 plus years. So every once in a while, if it's somebody that I know that's a family friend, I will make an exception to do things like that. So that is the only reason why I'm doing consignment there for those. Everything else I purchased outright. So that $6,943 price point that I told you did not include that little stack that I just showed you. It does include this stack, and all the sealed wax. This stack I separated. This was all items that I thought was valued underneath $50 individually. So because of that, all of these will be shipping out to my Check Out My Card store. So if you're ever interested in cheaper stuff and you're like, hey, why does your eBay store only have $50 plus? Or when I go to shows, you don't have, you know, $50, $40, $30 slabs. It's because I ship them all to my Check Out My Card store. That is linked in the description of the video if you ever want to look at what my inventory is like there. I have roughly 100 items that are in my store right now, but there's about 900 that they're still processing. So in the near future, there should be, you know, 900 right to 1,000 items in there. So definitely a lot of variety in my Check Out My Card store. I'm going to roll through some of these. I don't want this video to be too long, but you got a Nessa Full Art Trainer from Vivid Voltage as a 10. Rayquaza from Vivid Voltage as a 9. Gardevoir VMAX from Champion's Path, the Secret Rainbow as a 10. Venusaur Classic Collection Base Set Holo 10. Reshiram and Charizard GX. These are promos from Premium Collection boxes as a 9. Special Delivery Charizard Pokemon Center exclusive UK Holo as a 9. Another one that came promo from a Premium Collection, Pikachu and Zekrom GX as a 9. Pikachu VMAX from the Pikachu VMAX box as a 10. Japanese shiny box, the Crobat V shiny box as a 10. This is actually a promo in one of the sealed wax Japanese boxes I have, which is, I'll show you guys that later. Pikachu V, also from the Pikachu VMAX box as a 10. And then some CGC, you got Eevee and Snorlax GX Tag Team from the Tag Team Tins as a CGC 9. And I think there are 4 of these, all as CGC 9s. So that's all items that, like I said, I believed were valued under $50, anywhere from like 30 to like 45, 13 to 45, I think was like the range for those. So those will be hitting my Check Out My Card store. This is all stuff that I thought was valued $50 or higher. There's a couple of raw stuff. It was all sealed. So you got the Pikachu with the gray felt hat. And then this one is, these were a pair that came together, Pokemon together, Pikachu and Eevee. So that's all the sealed, or the raw stuff, I should say. There wasn't much. Here's all the slabs. This was the most valuable slab by far. Such a cool card. 2015 Ancient Origins, the Mega Rayquaza EX as a PSA 10. Just an absolutely gorgeous card. I believe it's the main chaser from Ancient Origins, if I'm recalling correctly. I have to look, but price point wise, I think it is. These sell for around like $1,300 to $1,400 pretty consistently for this card alone. So definitely a monster card right there. There was a bunch of cards from the Tag Team Power collections, which, if you have been following this channel for a long time, at the very beginning of making this, like 3 or 4 years ago, I think, the YouTube channel, I had sat down and opened up like 40 of these Tag Team Power Collection boxes. I still think they were the best bang for your buck back then. Now the boxes sell for like $270, $300, which is absolutely crazy. But in those boxes, you had 6 different promos. And then I think it was like 10 additional packs, but like Evolving Skies was in it, Cosmic Eclipse. It was just an abundance of packs that were really nice. But this was one of the promos, an EVGX, Umbreon and Darkrai GX Tag Team, and then an Espeon and Deoxys GX Tag Team. Like, those were the top 3 promos, but you got all 3 of those in the box. It was a crazy cool box. They just don't make them like that anymore. But EVGX from the Tag Team Power Collection, PSA 10. This was actually the most valuable promo as 10s. The Umbreon and Darkrai actually outsells the Espeon and Deoxys, but a pair of these guys from the same thing, the Tag Team Power Collection boxes, both as PSA 10s, which are so gnarly. Espeon and Deoxys from the Tag Team Power Collection as a 10. I actually think the artwork on this one is better than the Umbreon and Darkrai. I just think people like Umbreon better than they do Espeon. But I think the artwork on the Espeon and Deoxys is better than the Umbreon and Darkrai. XY Evolutions, the pre-release holo Mewtwo as a 9. Very difficult to get these as 10s. Pokemon Black and White, Plasma Freeze, Heatran EX as a 9. Definitely one of those unique releases. Blue border. Typically Pokemon has a yellow border. This set being the Plasma Freeze, they matched it with a blue border. I don't know if they've done that again since. I don't have that much knowledge. I just know they've done it before. Unified Minds, another Tag Team Raichu and a Alolan's Raichu GX, graded a 9. And then the last slab was a 2000 Topps Chrome Rattata Techno Parallel as a PSA 8. So that was all the singles that were valued $50 plus. The majority of this value came from those 3 tag teams right there. I think this sells for like $360, and the Umbreon and Darkrai is right around like $400 to $420 right now. So I mean, that was $1,200 on its own, and then that one was right around $13. So between those 4 slabs, it was $2,500 in value, which is a good chunk of value from this lot. Now, the sealed wax was definitely a highlight from this collection, without a doubt. So I'm going to go over that because I think it's very cool. There was a couple of Japanese boxes. I don't have a ton of experience with Japanese, so it was fun to get a couple cheap ones to be able to throw into my showcases at shows. But these are Shiny V. I believe this was Sword and Shield, if I'm not mistaken. Booster box sealed. There is 10 packs that come in here. So that was a Shiny V booster box, Japanese. And then these ones here, we showed you the promo that actually came in this. This is the Shiny V, the Crobat V specifically, Japanese boxes, which the Crobat V, I showed the Japanese 10. That is the promo that you're guaranteed in this box, and then you also get packs. This one, I'm actually not sure how many packs you get in here. I'll have to do some research before I go to sell them. But those were 2 cheap boxes. I think like these do around like 75, 80 bucks, and these do around like 55. So nothing too crazy on the Japanese sealed wax there, but definitely some cool things to be able to throw into my showcases at shows. We'll go this stack of ETBs next. Some of the stuff I got to be very fragile with, and I won't be able to show the whole thing because my camera, I can't fit it all on. It's unfortunately not big enough, but a lot of these were Pokemon Center ETBs, and then the ones that were not were a bunch of XY sets, which were absolutely incredible. But Chilling Reign Pokemon Center ETB, it actually had the pair. So that is the Shadow Rider, that is the Ice Rider, that is the pair of them right there. And I'm going to be very fragile with these as I go because you want to keep the wrapper intact. You don't want any damages to it. Another Pokemon Center ETB, you got a Scarlet and Violet Paldean Fates ETB. You know what? I actually might just raise this a little bit, see if we can look at some of these ETBs a little better. Scarlet and Violet 151 Pokemon Center ETB. So that was everything from that stack. So it was a couple of Scarlet and Violet, and then a couple from Sword and Shield. Next up, this stack, you got another Sword and Shield. This time it's going to be an Evolving Skies ETB. You got Glaceon, Vaporeon, Espeon. I can't remember. Ooh. I don't remember that Eevee evolution. That's terrible. I'm blanking. Somebody can call me out there in the video. I'm literally looking at it and I can't think of it. Oh well. I can't think of all of them all the time. But those are EV Evolutions, and then there's actually 2 different artworks of this, and then it's got the other 4, so it's got Flareon and what is it? I can't think of them off the top of my head. I'm blanking. This is embarrassing. I just can't think of all of them right now. But there's 2 different types of sets that has the different EV Evolutions. So Pokemon Center ETB, Evolving Skies from Sword and Shield is that one. The first up for the XY set, we got an XY Breakpoint ETB with an absolutely sick Gyarados artwork on the front. So a Breakpoint ETB. And the majority of these also were very clean. There was one box that had some tearing, which I'll show, but for the most part they were very nice. The customer who sold them had taken great care of them. Next up, a pair of XY Evolutions ETBs. It's very cool to have the pair of them. You got Charizard on one, Blastoise on the other. So a very cool pair there for the XY Evolutions. So in that one, you had 1 Sword and Shield, and then you had 3 XY ETBs. This next one was the most valuable Pokemon Sealed Wax by far. This is a XY Roaring Skies ETB. Absolutely disgusting. Believe that's Rayquaza on the front, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think it is. Yep. So that was absolutely sweet. This is a perfect box. There is no tearing. There is no dents. There's nothing. Just an absolutely sweet looking box. These ones go for around like 12 to 1300 for clean boxes. Some sold as high as 15, and then rip boxes sold for as low as like 1,000. So an absolutely sweet XY Roaring Skies, the late Elite Trainer box. Next up, XY Fates Collide Elite Trainer box. This was actually the one that had some ripping, so you can see a little tear right there. And then on the back, there's actually one there. There's one at the bottom. So this one had a little bit of beat up, which I accounted for in the price. But I believe that's Alakazam there on the front of the artwork. But XY Fates Collide ETB, which is gorgeous. Then you got an XY Steam Siege Elite Trainer box. This one is actually very nice condition as well. I actually don't know that Pokemon off the top of my head, so. And then we got a pair together of XY Breakthrough ETBs. You got the purple and the red. I want to say those are both Mewtwo's, if I'm not mistaken. But that is the back of both. So one purple, one red of the XY Breakthrough ETBs. Actually, that's it for the Elite Trainer boxes. But now there's, well, actually I take that back. Of the loose ones, there is a sealed case of ETBs, which I will get to here shortly. I will showcase this next. 3 booster boxes. They're going to be all the same set of Sword and Shield Vivid Voltage, which you're chasing the Fat Pikachu, is, I think, one of like the only chasers from this. This actually hasn't increased in price very much because it really only has like the one chaser. But Sword and Shield Vivid Voltage sealed booster boxes. So there's 36 booster packs in each booster box. There's 1, 2, 3 of those sealed boxes. So that was the only booster boxes from the lot. This was kind of one random box put together, a Pikachu and Zekrom GX Premium Collection box. So there was actually, if you remember from the graded cards, there was a PSA 9 of the Pikachu and Zekrom GX. That's where this comes from. There's also a jumbo version. Then you have different packs in here. What do you got? You got 3 Evolving Skies, 2 Chilling Reign. And I actually don't know. It looks like some Chilling Reign is on that side, but you got at least 3 Evolving Skies, which is pretty sweet. Then obviously you got the promo and some Chilling Reign in there, but this one actually had some damage. It was torn right there. I'm sure somebody accidentally grabbed it like that, but unfortunately this one's got some damage, but still a pretty cool box there. And then the last thing, which I'll just showcase with my phone, I'm not going to make it move, was this Elite Trainer Box case, which is actually a sealed case of Sword and Shield Darkness Ablaze ETBs. There are 10 ETBs of the Darkness Ablaze in there, which has a Charizard Chaser, if I'm not mistaken, from that set. So that was everything. That's all the sealed wax. I showed you guys all the singles at the very beginning. It was a strictly Pokemon collection that I purchased, which was a lot of fun. A lot of stuff from different eras. The XY era was like kind of like the 2010s, if I remember correctly. And then you got some of the newer ones with the Sword and Shield and the Scarlet and Violet ETBs, a couple Japanese sealed wax, and then a whole variety of slabs with a couple bangers in there. So really, really cool collection. Glad I was able to purchase it. But again, it was basically 80% of value. What I ended up doing on this lot, it was roughly $8,700 in value, and I paid just around $6,900 for the lot. So that was everything. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. All the stuff will be with me at my upcoming show in Chicago. I don't think this will be posted before that show, so we'll see how much is left after that show. But some of the stuff will be with me under consignment. The sealed wax will be with me at my shows. The higher end singles that were $50 plus will be with me at shows, also available on my eBay and social media. And everything that was that like $10 to $45 range will be at my Check Out My Card store. So if you're ever curious about looking at any of those platforms, you're like, oh, what does he have for sale? They're all linked in every single one of my videos. You look at the description, it shows my eBay, it shows my Check Out My Card store. I will be auctioning stuff on my Whatnot account at some point. I just haven't got to that part yet. That's kind of been on the back burner, but everything else is basically shows, eBay, and my ComC account. So that's everything. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed a fun Pokemon collection. Everyone have a great day, and don't forget to smile. Later, guys.